It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. And it begins with Andrew McCutchen in center field. Jack Wilson's the shortstop. Good career numbers against Wandy. Delwyn Young's in left field, batting third. It's Garrett Jones, the cleanup man, in right field. Andy LaRoche mans third base with his brother Adam across the diamond at first. Robinson Diaz is the catcher, batting seventh. It's Ramon Vasquez at second, hitting eighth. And Charlie Morton will be the pitcher for the Buccos.
Wandy Rodriguez is 30 years of age. He's left-handed, and he's pitching against the Pittsburgh Pirates here this afternoon. He's working for the 18th time this year, 7-6, 3.21 ERA for Wandy. He's throwing the ball well of late after a little bit of a bumpy ride. Has turned this season back around. All in all, very good numbers. Defensively, the Astros, Lee Bourne and Pence. Infield with Blum, Tejada, Matsui, and Berkman. So, day game after night game, and Cooper essentially playing a bad hand. Quintero gets the start. Pudge was back there last night.
A big day of baseball coming up tomorrow. A reminder that you can come with the gates opening at 5 o'clock tomorrow to see the resumption of that suspended game. That's a 6:05 start. And that will be some extra baseball with your normal game ticket. The regular scheduled game starts at 7:05 tomorrow night. Two games to be decided with the Nationals in town, and that turns into a 5-game series. Andrew McCutchen gets it rolling today. Looking back at Jerry Davis, the home plate umpire, stepping up now with a .299 average, 1 homer, 21 runs batted in with a couple of hits and an RBI for McCutchen in this series. Strike one from Wandy Rodriguez. Wandy shooting for win number 8. He leads the Astros in wins. He leads the starters in ERA, 3.21. Curveball tapped to shortstop, charged by Tejada. He one-hands it and gets it to Berkman. And with McCutchen's speed, that is advisable. Get rid of it quickly.
Yeah, he can't afford to lay back with that guy going down the line. He is faster than the speed of sound.
Fox Sports Houston has a Twitter page. That's pretty quick as well. Expand your sporting network at twitter.com/FS Houston. Jack Wilson hit a home run last night in the Pirates' 6-3 win. That was a 2-run shot in the third inning. His 4th home run of the year. He's hit 4 homers. He's driven in 31. And he takes strike one. They're cutting in on his hands with a .275 average for Wilson. Wilson with those good career numbers against Wandy. And he's hit 10 home runs here at Minute Maid Park. And he's hit 10 home runs in his career against the Astros. All of them coming here.
You better sign that guy.
No balls and 2 strikes. Well, there continue to be a lot of trade rumors about him and other Pirates. But that would be highly unlikely if he were traded here.
Playing in that big ballpark in Pittsburgh at PNC with a huge left field. So Jack Wilson, who does not have a lot of power, comes to town and salivates a little bit. Trying to get out in front and hook the ball.
Nothing there but a strikeout, and it goes from 2 to 3. Quintero to Berkman to complete out number 2 for Wandy.
Wandy off to a good start. 2 up, 2 down. Wilson swinging over the top of that curveball.
Roberto Duran,
great fighter. Throwing out the first pitch here this afternoon. Apparently he's buddies with Carlos Lee.
Okay. Panamanian contingent represented very well. Roberto Duran threw out the first pitch.
Looks like a right-handed Fernando Valenzuela.
I don't know who caught it, but whoever did probably said no mas.
Carlos Lee was back there.
1 ball and 1 strike.
He's probably saying a little moss. Get that thing here. That's the Panama connection.
Delwyn Young fouls it away. We understand Roberto Duran is in town for some big soccer matches involving Panama. And Alex Trevino very glad he's here as they talk on Astros Spanish radio. Alex isn't even watching the field right now. And that's a strikeout for Wandy. He needs 10 pitches to get through a 1-2-3 first. No score. Up for Cecil Cooper, whose club is 40 and 42, 4.5 games off the lead pace. Southwest Airlines shows you Michael Bourne in center field, Miguel Tejada at shortstop, Lance Berkman sizzling at first base, Carlos Lee in left field, Jeff Plum at third base. Hunter Pence is the right fielder with Kazuo Matsui at second base. Alberto Quintero the catcher for Wandy Rodriguez.
Long and lean Charlie Morton worked for the Pirates today. Picked him up from the Atlanta Braves in the Nate McLeod deal. Look at his career numbers, 5-9 with a 5.50. And he's made 4 starts with the Pirates this year and has pitched well. After a 1 start with their AAA club after the trade, they brought him up, and he's 1-1 with a 2.65 ERA through 4 starts in a Pirate uniform.
Michael Bourne is the first up, and taking ball 1 in the dirt. Morton looking down at his footing. Bourne, a .282 hitter with 2 homers, has 20 runs batted in, 1 for 8 with an RBI in this series. Bourne is hitting .154 in the month of July. Morton throws a fastball at 91 to even the count at 1-1 with Andy LaRoche in on the grass at third and hugging the line. Very tight. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Astros saw Morton last year, just about exactly a year ago in Atlanta. He started that 17-inning extravaganza against Wandy Rodriguez. And he gave up 6 runs in 6 innings.
Swings the fastball there. He's got the 4 basic pitches: fastball, curveball, slider, and a changeup.
Drafted by the Braves in the 3rd round in 2002 and then traded this year. Slap to shortstop, Jack Wilson. Takes care of out number 1.
Now the Pirates defensively are led by that man right there, Jack Wilson. Just a stellar shortstop. The outfield for the Pirates has Young, McCutchen the speedster in center, Garrett Jones in right field. LaRoche and LaRoche man the corners. Vasquez has second base as Freddie Sanchez is still not able to play because of the back. We talked about Wilson and Wilkinson Diaz behind the plate.
And Miguel Tejada, an all-star for the 6th time this year, 329, 7 homers, 45 runs batted in, leads the league in doubles with 29. Morton is off the plate with that one for ball 1. Miggy on a 3-game hitting streak, leads the league in hits with 109, and in multi-hit games he has 35 to lead all National League players. Tap foul. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Miggy last night continued his torrid hitting against the Pirates. And with 109 hits, he and Aaron Hill are tied for 2nd in the majors behind Ichiro, blasting out in front at 119.
Ichiro Suzuki?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That Ichiro. It's 2 balls and a strike. Tejada had a couple more hits last night, one of them a double. And against the Bucks this year, he's hit .476. Crack bat roller goes foul outside third. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tejada over for another bat. We welcome some youngsters this week. Tejada's troops coming out to the ballpark. Nathan Miggy
just got jammed by a changeup. That's rather humbling for a hitter, especially such a good one like Tejada, but it's a great movement that got in on his knuckles. Probably what he's saying right there as he walks back to the plate. I can't believe I just got jammed by a changeup.
Charlie Morton was 4-8 for Atlanta last season. He's from Flemington, New Jersey. Good play there on the backhand side. Adam LaRoche to Morton. Well coordinated for out number 2. Big first sacker reached across his body to backhand that one. Meanwhile, Milo Hamilton and Dave Raymond are at work. Lowell Matheny at the controls on Astros Radio.
Dave doesn't get the nice big comfortable chair that Milo gets.
Okay. Dave has a regulation size chair. Looks comfortable though. Lance Berkman the batter. 270 average for Lance. That's come a long way. And he took the horns for that loss last night for his error at first base. There's ball 1. 270, 17 homers, 49 runs batted in. That error in the 7th inning opening the floodgates for 4 runs. The bases were loaded and 1 out. He made a 1-hop throw to home plate. But Rodriguez unable to come up with it, and a run scored, and then more scored later.
Yeah, he was a piece of it. He took a lot on his shoulders, but the pitching broke down. Pudge could have bailed him out had he handled that 1-hop throw. He wasn't the only guy that struggled in that inning.
No, he was not.
But he's very accountable. You see the breakdown last 4 months. April was just brutal and slow and steady climb back to Berkman land.
He's on a 9-game hitting streak now. That one comes back for a strike. He's been on base in 29 of his last 52 plate appearances. And he referred to an error he made on the last homestand, which he felt cost the Astros the game. But shortly after that, he got a big redeeming hit. This time a strikeout for Morton takes him through a 1-2-3 first. Both pitchers looking sharp in the initial inning. No score.
In, one more to go. Help us pick the top moment in the 10 years at Minute Maid Park. Our final semifinal matchup is all Biggio, his 3,000th hit versus his final game. Just log on to Astros.com to vote today. 2 good ones, guys.
Yes, they are. Thanks, Patty. Garrett Jones leading off the 2nd inning. Looks at strike one. 296 for Jones. 2 homers, 3 runs batted in, and he's 3 for 7 in this series. He's shown some good baseball abilities on the field the first 2 games. Hits one, and it's caught by Matsui for out number 1. Trying to get in on him very nicely. Wandy wants another baseball. He is 3-4 lifetime against the Buccos with a 5.37 ERA. As he faces Andy LaRoche, 268, 4 homers. He's driven in 34. And hitless in this series. That's strike 1 to him. He drew a key walk, though, in the 7th inning last night when the Pirates rallied with 4 runs. Smacks a line drive to right center field. The Pirates have the game's first base runner in the free swinging LaRoche.
Wandy throwing a backdoor curveball, and LaRoche staying back nicely on it.
He's aboard for his brother Adam now. And he's 25. Adam 29, 259, 12 homers, 39 runs batted in for older brother. Adam 0 for 4 in this series. He's back for ball 1. Adam has been, for the most part, a much better hitter in the second half of the season in his career. And this year, again, he had his struggles early season. 2 balls, no strikes. Coming into this season, he was a .253 hitter before the All-Star break, .297 after. Fouls that one, and it's 2-1. The Astros are 7-4 against the Pirates. 3-2 here at Minute Maid Park. The Washington Nationals are also playing a day game in Colorado. They start later. They'll be here tomorrow night and stay through Sunday. Cecil Cooper was fielding a lot of questions about the resumption of that suspended game tomorrow. He said, we're just focusing on today. 3 balls, 1 strike to Adam LaRoche. Robinson Diaz on deck. Now, he's certainly given it a lot of thought. He knows what players are new on both teams since the game was suspended May 5th. And he's well aware of all the different strategies that could be used. Come game time at 6:05 tomorrow when it's resumed in the bottom of the 11th inning. Washington will be the home team, batting with a runner at first and 1 out. Line to right field. Adam advances Andy to second with a single, and it's back-to-back singles by the LaRoche boys, with Diaz coming up next. What's on tap with the Astros? We'll show you that Bud Light moves ahead to tomorrow, and it's game from May 5th to be resumed at 6 o'clock. And it's tied 10-10, bottom of the 11th. The Nationals batting, runner at first, 1 out. Fans with tickets to the 7:05 game will be admitted without any extra charge. The 7:05 game will start on time, or if the game that's resumed ends early before 6:35, there'll be 30 minutes between games. Now Robinson Diaz, the batter.
Well, we know this. It'll be the highest scoring game in the history of Nationals Park, and it won't even end it.
There are a lot of confusing things about that game.
Last year there was a game between the White Sox and the Orioles, I believe, a suspended game. Same kind of deal. Started in April, was finished in August, so you had guys getting credit for their first major league hit, and they weren't even in the big leagues yet. And Ken Griffey Jr. got hits because the box score, the actual suspended game, the resumption, everything counts to the day of the original game. So you have some funky things going on, like Ken Griffey Jr. getting hits on the same day for 2 different teams.
Yeah. Dewey Robinson out with a 2-0 count here on Diaz. Well, it's interesting that Joel Hanrahan is here today as a member of the Pirates. He pitched last night. He was the pitcher in the game on May 5th for Washington against Houston. So he could get a win theoretically tomorrow if the Nationals score in the bottom of the 11th, and be with the Pirates in Philadelphia and maybe even pick up another win there.
It'd be a big day. Or he might want to just stay here and cheer for his former mates so he can get the W. So he can running out of the dugout and shake hands afterwards in a Pirate uniform. He'll probably leave notes in the clubhouse. Steve Perry saying, here's a little bonus money. Whoever can come in and finish that one off and give me a W.
3-0 to Diaz now. 3-1. That was the count when Adam LaRoche got his single. Rondi falling behind these 2 hitters. Ramon Vasquez is on deck. Oh, he chases one, and it's 3-2 to Diaz.
A little greedy.
Diaz has had good results lately. 7 for 11 with a double and 3 runs batted in his last 3 starts. He's walked only once in 116 plate appearances. That's a foul tip strikeout. Yeah, I'll show you exactly how that's been happening. That's strikeout number 3 for Wander.
So 2 consecutive pitches out of the strike zone, and Diaz not able to lay off either one. Not a good approach there.
The Pirates hope Ramon Vasquez can come through. 239 is his average. He has 1 homer. He's driven in 10 runs. And 0 for 6 in this series. But last night he had a lot of plays at second base. He made 11 assists in that game last night. Most by a Pirate second baseman since '94. Bangs that one foul for strike one. And as JD mentioned, Freddie Sanchez continues to be out with a back injury. So Vasquez has played all 3 games at second.
Nice when you can plug in a guy like Vasquez, a good solid veteran. To me, he's a better fit on a contending club, and Pirates would argue that they are still a contending club, and maybe they are given the murky nature of the NL Central. But he's a good piece on a winning club, a guy who can play different positions for you, give you a solid at bat off the bench. Most of the plays he had last night were of the routine variety, but he made a couple real nice plays, one up the middle in particular.
Yeah. Made all 3 plays in the 9th inning. It's no balls, 2 strikes, but Freddie Sanchez on the bench has quite a glittering career against Wandy Rodriguez. 10 hits and 23 at bats, including a homer.
Hey, he had great numbers against Brian Moeller too, and just not able to get back in the lineup. Good with that gum. It's a pretty good trick there.
Won the batting title in '06, and he is a very good hitter. Pirates are missing his services for this entire series. He is available to pinch hit today. Strike 3. Wandy Rodriguez was in some trouble. He had runners at first and second, 1 out. Struck out Diaz, struck out Vasquez. 0-0 after 1.5.
Astros Nationals first 10,000 fans receive a Minute Maid Park grass planter courtesy of ABC Pest Control, and it features real ballpark grass. Fireworks after the game. That's Marathon Oil taking care of that for you.
Strike 1 to Carlos Lee. El Caballo on a 3-game hitting streak. 297, 12 homers, 47 runs batted in. 3 hits in this series, and he has driven in 11 against the Pirates this year in 11 games. Charlie Morton was close to the corner. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count for Morton.
I bet you his nickname is Salty.
Yeah. Working pretty quickly here. Pulls that one in the dirt, and it's 2 balls, 1 strike. He and a couple of prospects were traded for Nate McLouth in June. Morton pitched 16 times for the Braves and 13 for Richmond last year. Floats over first base into foul ground and out of play.
He's throwing his fastball 88 to 91, the 2-seamer. It's got pretty good movement. And the pitch he struck Lance out on to end the last inning was 94 miles an hour, the 4-seamer, so he has the ability to reach back and find a little extra. Looks like he prefers the 2-seamer, though.
3 balls, 2 strikes, and Patty Smith is waiting. Patty?
Well, I'm here with Coach Gary Stempler, coach of the Panama soccer team, who's in here playing against Mexico tomorrow at Reliance Stadium. And you guys are here supporting this man right here.
Great timing, huh?
Carlos Lee from Panama, obviously you're here to see him, and he is also going to the game to see you tomorrow, correct?
That's right. We were given a special invitation by Carlos, who gave us the tickets. And at the same time, Roberto Duran, obviously a legend in Panama as a boxer, was also the first pitch here. So it gave us some time to relax a little bit before the big game tomorrow, and obviously this is a great atmosphere for us.
And tell us about the game. You're playing Mexico, but what does that mean, where you go from there, where you are in the brackets?
Well, we played our first game in Oakland on Sunday. We lost against Guadalupe. Big game tomorrow against Mexico. We need to win. After the game on tomorrow on Thursday, we move to Phoenix to play Nicaragua on Sunday.
All right, well, I think I should come and interview you every time Carlos comes up to bat, because obviously you brought him good luck.
And yourselves. Thank you very much.
All right, and good luck to you guys tomorrow. All right, guys.
Thank you, Patty. Carlos obliged with that single. Now it's 1-0 on Jeff Plum. And he smacks one up the middle. He singles. Carlos to second base. Nice line drive for Blummer, who's driven in 7 runs in the first 6 games of July. And the Astros have something going first and second for Hunter Pence with nobody out.
Chance to draw first blood here this afternoon. Great swing of the bat there by Jeff. And right back through the middle. Now, Carlos played basketball and volleyball as a kid, in addition to baseball. I think he played any soccer.
Got a little wrap on that right elbow today. Hunter Pence is the batter. 3-game hitting streak for Hunter. Batting average, though, has dropped to .301 with 11 homers, 35 runs batted in. He's 2 for 8 with an RBI in this series. Hunter's hitting .182 in July. 4 hits and 22 at bats. Last night he came up with a game-tying single to right field in the 6th inning with 2 outs. Going 1 for 4, and then he lined out to second in the 8th inning.
Last night it seemed like every time the Astros had a chance for a big inning, they hit into a double play, and obviously that's what the Pirates have in mind here.
Wilson in along with Diaz. Talking with Charlie Morton. Pirates have turned 97 double plays this season, including 3 last night. Matsui on deck as Pence steps up. That's strike 1 call.
The Pirates really bunching their outfielders here. McCutchen plays a very shallow center field. And you see the right fielder Jones pinching towards the alley a little bit, trying to take that right center field gap away from Hunter. If you're able to shoot one into the right field corner, it'd be a pretty easy triple for him.
One ball and 1 strike. Mulholland went 6 last night for the Buccos, getting the win, giving up 2 runs. Virgil Vasquez went 6 innings Monday night, allowing 4 runs. Astros won that one behind Mike Hampton 4-1. Pittsburgh taking last night's game 6-3. Time was called. Let's see where Hunter's been collecting his hits this year.
Out center field now with the speedster McCutchen out there. There's a lot of room behind them. They're bunching the gap, so it's going to be tougher to shoot one to the gap. But if you could hit one over McCutchen's head, could do some damage there. Of course, McCutchen can flat out fly. Look at that changeup again. Boy, it's tremendous movement on that pitch.
Yeah. Ball, 2 strikes. He's not shy about using it either. The Astros have won 2 of 3 in the 3 previous series from the Buccos. That's tap foul. Mike Hampton, 10 wins in his last 10 starts against the Pirates. Has really been a big factor of the season series. He's beaten them 4 times. That is really exceptional for one pitcher to beat one team 4 times before the All-Star break in a season.
Especially when Hampy's only got 5 wins. He's 5-5. And 4 to 5 against Pittsburgh.
Jack Wilson comes in for the slow roller and gets Hunter Pence, who advances the runners to second and third. 1 out. The third Blum at second for Matsui now.
Charlie Morton got his ground ball, but not enough steam on it for the Pirates to do anything in terms of a double play. So they get the 1 out at first, but a couple runners in scoring position. They're in a little bit of a funk here, pulling off the ball quite a bit.
Matsui, the 250 batting average with men in scoring position, comes up only 231 overall. Caswell with 2 homers, 18 runs batted in, 1 for 5 in this series. He was among those who came out for early hitting last night. He had a single and 2 walks last night. He said he was getting out in front of the ball a little bit, and especially batting left-handed. He's brought that runner in from third, less than 2 outs, 6 out of 9 times this year. Andy LaRoche is in tight at third base.
There's that changeup again, and most right-handed pitchers, when they throw a changeup to a left-handed hitter, they're going to throw down and away, but he'll start his at the hitter and just tail it back over the inside part of the plate. Basically a screwball.
Really different looking pitch than we normally see. And now the curve breaks in, and it's 1-2.
It's a swing we've seen a lot of from Caswell lately, especially from that left side. Not recognizing the breaking pitch very well.
Humberto Quintero's on deck. And Matsui's down on strikes. Diaz throwing to first to complete the strikeout. That's number 2 of the game for Morton.
Morton throwing all kinds of stuff up there. Great movement, off-speed pitches. And Matsui not able to make contact. That was huge. Bad AB there for Kaz.
Coming up later in our Dodge Grab Live feature, Humberto Quintero will tell us what he listens to on his iPod. Stay tuned. If you'd like to listen to some sweet music, the 2-run single right here probably. 239, no homers, 9 runs batted in for Q. Wandy Rodriguez on deck.
Settle for the sweet sounds of a dying quail in shallow right field.
Strike on a high fastball. Morton is really varying his speeds today.
And there's the 4-seamer at 95 miles an hour. A nice assortment of pitches.
He really does.
In minor leagues, he struggled some with his command. He seemed to have straightened that out and has worked his way to the big leagues again. Tall guy, about 6'4", 6'5".
Quintero's 8 for 16 with men in scoring position. Cracked bat roller. Jack Wilson comes after it. Makes the short hop play. And Morton escapes trouble. With 2 on and nobody out. He gets the next 3 to keep the game scoreless through 2.
Astros and Pirates. Fox Sports Houston is now on Facebook. Expand the sporting network. Stay connected by logging on to Facebook.com and searching for Fox Sports Houston. Home teams all the time. Greg Lucas frantically typing away in a bogus blog entry.
He can hear you. So he was not listening to the United Nations interpreter, but to you instead. It was ball one to Morton. And it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Morton is 0 for 4. 048 lifetime hitter. Wandy Rodriguez falls behind him. 2 balls and a strike. One thing Greg Lucas is researching is about that situation involving the suspended game law. 2-2.
What's Greg working on?
Well, we're trying to find out if it really would be possible for one pitcher to pitch for both teams in the same game. Suspended game.
I don't know. It seems to me there'd be a rule against that. It would be a lot of fun, though.
Yeah.
So we could trade for hand-to-hand, and you could be the winner and loser in the same game. Possibly.
That would be very weird. But these suspended games that are suspended and then resumed months later can produce some weird stuff. Strikeout. Morton is caught looking. That's strikeout number 5 for Wandy Rodriguez.
3 in a row. Got Diaz and Vasquez to end the second. Now he gets Morton here to start the third.
He's already struck out 98 men this year. Wandy just about to pass Denny LeMaster on the list of innings pitched by Astros lefties in history. Andrew McCutchen looks at ball 1. He's grounded to short, leading off the game. Master is 6th on the all-time Astros lefty innings pitched list. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Mike Cuellar worked 700 innings in his career. Wandy needs 12 more to equal that. Bounced off the leg of McCutchen. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
That curveball is such an important pitch for Wandy. That's what Andy LaRoche hit for his base hit. He started McCutchen in this sequence with a curveball, and he left it out of the zone up, but you can't afford to give up on it.
Ooh, there's a late swing and another strikeout. That's 6 for Wandy.
Curveball is so important, 1, because it's hard to hit, and 2, because it gets him off the fastball, and then you get away with that. You slip that little 93-mile-an-hour fastball right by him. He's got good stuff today.
So does Patty Smith. We're going to her right now.
Yes, I do. It's great to be a kid this summer here at Minute Maid Park, as all kids 14 and under get in for free in partnership with Minute Maid. Plus, Saturday, all kids will receive a coupon for free admission to the Houston Zoo with 1 paid adult admission during the month of August. And on Sunday, all kids will enjoy a free hot dog and Coke courtesy of HEB, Sheriff Blaylock's Coca-Cola, and Aramark. For all the details, just visit Astros.com, guys.
Big weekend coming up with free stuff for the kids. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lots of kids came out early today. 0-2 to Jack Wilson. He struck out first time up. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike.
There's some summer campers here today. Got some church groups. St. Anthony's and the Woodlands is out here today. Drayton's Church. I think there's a group here from Drayton's Church back in Temple.
It's 2-2 on appeal to first base umpire C.B. Buckner.
She's ready. She's got 2 gloves. There's a big group.
Very large bunch there.
Squirming around. The night crawlers.
Tap foul. Well, they can watch some great Major League talent on display. Some of them are playing baseball themselves. Try to pick up something, or they can just enjoy the food or the conversation or whatever. But they are in a lot of different colored T-shirts today.
Mostly just eat a lot of food and make noise. Primary goal today for that group. There we go.
That's the nice thing about it. You bring them out here, and maybe they'll be a little quieter when they get home.
Yeah, after a good day at the ballpark, they'll be wore out tonight.
Those little voices make that high decibel level. And the curveball comes in for ball 3. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes for Wandy Rodriguez. Wandy's 3-2 at home with a 2.60 ERA this season in this ballpark. He's loved the home crowds and the home mound and atmosphere. Just about everything about it with those numbers this year. Foul back as Jack Wilson puts up a good battle.
Yeah, Jack Wilson talked about it his first time up. 10 home runs in this ballpark. He's only hit 24 in his career in his home ballpark at PNC, and about 10 times as many at bats there at least than he's had here.
He reaches for it, grounds to Berkman, tossing to Rodriguez. In the 3rd inning, the Pirates do not get a base runner, and it is 0-0 after 2.5. For dealers and by Southwest Airlines. Historic old Union Station. Many a train passenger used to line up, get set for that train visit to some other city. Now used as an entry to this ballpark. It's 0-0, and Wandy Rodriguez leads it off. The train has been fixed. There was a broken axle. It's rolling again. And waiting for an Astro home run. So Bobby Vasquez can put the pedal to the metal. Rodriguez 1 for 29, takes strike 1. Another 34 average with 1 RBI. They're born in Tejada to follow.
Wandy's better than that. Better no 34.
Yeah. What would you say would be an accurate statistic reflecting the way he swings the bat?
About $130. Stroke right there. It's his career average.
It was 120 coming into this season.
He's been a hard luck hitter over the years, so that makes him a 130 hitter in my book.
107 at the moment. Fastball, and Morton is setting up his fastball well. Strikeout number 3.
Well, Charlie Morton has showed us a nice assortment of pitches, a real good changeup. And then that dandy right there to Matsui, really impressive. Started in on the lefty and run it back to the corner. That's fairly rare. You see a lot of guys do that with a sinker, but now the changeup. There's a couple good breaking balls to finish Matsui off, and with his need to, he's been able to dial that heater up to 95 miles an hour.
Michael Bourne showing bunt. Takes a looping pitch for ball 1 up high. Good numbers for Charlie Morton to start this game. Last time out against Florida, 6 innings of 1-hit shutout ball for Morton. He dazzled the fish on that occasion in a 7-4 Pirate win. Buccos have seen a lot to like from this young man so far in his 4 starts with them. It's 2-1. Left his first start with a hamstring strain after 1 inning in Atlanta. Line drive right center field. McCutchen will have to work on this one. It gets by him. It's all the way to the warning track, and Bourne heads for third base. And he's in with a stand-up triple, number 7 of the year for Michael Bourne.
Andrew McCutchen plays a very shallow center field, and that time he got burnt. The ball hit on a line. He was not able to cut it off, had to retreat and track it down. And Michael Bourne in with an easy triple. You see it here. McCutchen a couple strides to his left and realizing I'm not going to cut that off, and he has to belly out. And that's a long look at those numbers. You know, good things are happening for Michael Bourne.
He's a major league leading 7th triple of the year. He also leads the league in steals and infield hits. Now the infield comes in for Miguel Tejada with a runner at third and 1 out. Tejada grounded out to Adam LaRoche, the pitcher covering.
This is where Morton got tough last inning. He struck out Kazuo Matsui with a man on third and 1 out. Second and third in that instance.
And Berkman's on deck.
I like what the Pirates are doing here. They've got their infield in, so they've shallowed up their outfield even more. Pulling the infield in creates a big gap between the infielders and the outfielders, so they take that away. And the philosophy is, well, if my guy makes a pitch and I get a little blooper, I want to be able to make a play. If he hangs something and they knock it over my head, so be it. He made a bad pitch, but we want to reward him if he makes a good pitch.
Bouncer over LaRoche into right field. An RBI single for Tejada. 1-0 Astros. With LaRoche pulled in, Miggy just hit a high hopper over him for RBI number 46.
Right over the head of LaRoche. If he's playing his normal depth, they get the out at first base, but the Astros can still get the run with Bourne on third base. It didn't cost the Pirates a run there having the infield in, not yet anyway. See what happens with Miggy.
110 hits already for him now. It's Lance Berkman batting. And struck out in the first inning. He takes ball 1 there. Tejada's .329 average coming into this game is his highest in the first half since he hit .329 before the All-Star break in 2005. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count for Berkman. Second time through the order, a .400 batting average has hit Charlie Morton. The Astros the second time through are taking some good swings. Bourne and Tejada so far. Now Berkman hoping to follow suit with a 1-1 pitch on its way soon.
Well, Morton has used all of his pitches since the outset. So it's not like he was hiding anything in reserve for the second time around the order. The Astros have seen all of his pitches. May account a little bit for why they've been better against him second time around. Not a big body of work yet. He's only pitched 17 major league innings this year coming into this game.
48 pitches for Morton. Gave up a grand slam when he faced the Astros last year in Atlanta to Ty Wigginton. This drive sends McCutchen way back. Berkman unloading a deep shot to center field. That lands on Taos Hill. Tejada around third. Here's the throw to the plate. It drifts. The slide. They get him. Robertson Diaz with a lunging tag. Tags out Tejada. Berkman checks in with a double, but that's out number 2 at the plate. Great relay from Jack Wilson, but then the catcher had to do a job.
Yeah, and this is an interesting read for a base runner because we talk a lot about deep fly balls. If you know it's going to be caught, you can tag up from first in advance, but this one's so deep, obviously, you feel like it's going to get down, so Miggy probably could have gone actually a little further beyond second, as deep as that ball was. And it made it a little bit easier to score, but credit Jack Wilson with an outstanding relay. Good, strong arm, because he had to go out beyond the norm for a relay with that deep drive to Tal's Hill.
Now Carlos Lee, who's single to center field, hopes to drive in Berkman.
That's when I think if you're Miggy, if you're not going to think about tagging, you could go out beyond second base. You could go around the bag before it gets down. You see he waited right in front of the bag. You probably could have gone 2-3 steps beyond the bag, and if he makes a circus catch out there, you still have time to scramble back. Not an easy read. Just credit the Pirates for great defense.
1 ball, no strikes to Lee.
One of the fun features of this ballpark, with all that room out there in center field, you get a lot of interesting plays like that.
Yeah, because the way Berkman hit it, that sent McCutchen way back for it. He had to throw from on the hill. That's a tough throw. With that lead foot, it's going to be downhill. A lot of outfielders are not used to landing that way when they throw. Line shot, right field corner. That's in for extra bases for Carlos Lee, scoring Berkman. And it kicks back toward the infield for an RBI double to make it 2-0. The Panamanian having a big day. His 14th double of the year gives him his 48th run batted in.
Panamanian strongman.
And a good sign as he lines that one up the right field line. Uses that part of the diamond to make it 2-0. Now Jeff Blum. He had a sharp single to center field. He's driven in 20 runs in his last 25 games. Here's ball 1 from Morton. 4 straight hits from the Astros here, the second time through the order. It put them in a pretty good stead with Hunter Pence on deck. Blum's 26 runs batted in are his most in the first half of the season since 03. He had 33 at the All-Star break for the Astros. That's called for a swing by Jerry Davis. It's a 1-1 count. Pirate pitchers last year had a 5.10 ERA after their first 81 games. Jeff's been rung up on a couple of those in this series. Pirate pitching considerably better than it was a year ago at this time compared to ERAs. 2 balls, 1 strike. The Pirates have only been outscored by their opponents by 1 run, and yet they're 8 games under 500 at 38-46. In their last 7 road series, they've lost 6 and split 1. Fly ball to center. McCutchen backing on this one, turning and gliding for the 3rd out. But the Astros put 4 hits together, and they combine those 4 hits for 2 runs. They lose another runner at the plate. They lead it 2-0 after 3. lead as he works the fourth inning. Throws the low fastball to Delwyn Young for ball one. Young struck out in the first inning. Takes a big cut there, and the count goes to 1-1 on Delwyn Young. He's hit .339 in his last 15 starts.
Yeah, good looking young hitter, .314 average now, switch hitter who hits well from both sides of the plate. .291 as a right-handed hitter, .338 from the left side.
Curveball gets him swinging. Strikeout number 7 for Wandy, who struck out 11 at Colorado May 14.
Wandy's got it going on here this afternoon. The fastball curveball combination have been outstanding. The Pirates really not able to get a beat on him. They got a couple of knocks by the LaRoche brothers in the second, but other than that, been in complete control.
With those numbers, now Garrett Jones. And there's strike one to Jones, who lined to second baseman Matsui in the second inning. Jones had a solid year last year. AAA Rochester, a good spring training, but there was no spot for him on the Pirate Club. Now he's worked his way into quite a bit of playing time here the last 10 days. Came up June 30th from Indianapolis. Fastball fouled away. It snowballs. 2 strikes to Garrett Jones. He had 12 homers, 48 runs batted in for the Indianapolis club with 18 doubles in 72 games. A couple of stolen bases last night. That was a key when he stole second in the 7th inning. He stole again in the 8th. Reaches for the curveball, rolls it to Matsui. 2 outs.
Yeah, big guy, but he really runs well. He reminds me a little bit of Jason Worth with the Phillies.
Let's check on some Aflac trivia.
Aflac!
You almost got the one last night. Well, you did get it. Who is the only player in Major League Baseball history to lead the league in singles and doubles in the same season?
Well, George Brett comes to mind.
Ichiro, maybe?
Rod Carew. He got a lot of hits.
Cecil Cooper, Miguel Tejada. I think he was.
You go into the Wayback Machine, a guy like Tris Speaker.
Yeah.
He hit 50 doubles on at least one occasion.
That's true.
He's hit for a high average. Napoleon Lajoie was a good hitter. Cap Anson could really swing it.
Ty Cobb was pretty good.
Tigers Cobb, the Georgia Peach. Little pink tea and mollycoddles. Serious business here, folks.
Ed Delahanty was a nice hitter.
Oh, yeah.
What other kind of names can we come up with?
Dots Miller.
Dots Miller was in there. Hunter Pence over for the grab. And that's a 4th inning in which Ronnie did not have to work really hard. He's retired 8 in a row. He leads it 2-0. Gray Eagle, 41 doubles, 160 singles in 1916.
To go Tris Speaker. There's Ethan Robinson taking in the ball game.
Yeah.
It's the son of Wave, our producer.
Where's he sitting?
Things have turned out all right after all. And sitting next to that lady.
Okay.
It's Karen Menardis.
Well, they're engrossed in this ball game, and they've enjoyed the work of Wandy Rodriguez, and the Astros had 4 straight hits in the 3rd inning. That's Hunter Pence batting in the 4th. He grounded out to shortstop in the 2nd with 2 men on. This ground ball goes to Jack Wilson again. 1 pitch, 1 out for Morton here in the 4th.
I suggest trying somebody besides Jack. Who's usually going to make the play for you.
One of the very reliable shortstops, often spectacular. Made some good plays last night.
I can't think of any better in the National League. Tris Speaker, 792 doubles, first all time. Curt Biggio, of course, 5th on that list. And number 1 among right-handed batters. Speaker, Rose, Musial, Cobb, and Biggio, the top 5 in 2 base hits.
Matsui took ball 1. Now he swings, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. He was showing bunt on that first pitch. Not a bad thought with all the off-speed stuff Morton has been throwing. Again, he shortens up with LaRoche already in on the grass. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Not a bad idea given the nature of the swings Caswell had in his first at bat.
Yeah.
Sometimes the hitter's just not comfortable at the plate, not seeing the ball well. Man, it's a mess right now.
2-2. Terrell's on deck. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. It's going to be an interesting series coming up with Washington starting tomorrow night, and then a grinded out time for these players up through Sunday, and then the All-Star break, a couple days off. A little chop. Adam LaRoche broke for it. Now he gets back to first, but does not make it in time. And that step toward the second baseman cost him. Then he couldn't get back in time and find the bag, so Matsui beats the throw.
Adam LaRoche suffers from attention deficit disorder, and it's been a problem for him on the field from time to time. And to me, he had plenty of time. He just needed to run harder to the bag instead of looking back over his shoulder at Vasquez, sprint to the bag, then turn around and make the play. And Caswell clearly beat him.
It's ruled a hit. Caswell will certainly accept that ruling. It's hard to. You really can't give a player an error on a play like that, but it should have been an out.
Yeah. Tough to hang that on the pitcher's record if he comes around to score.
Clearly an error by LaRoche in judgment.
Yeah, that's they say you can't give a guy a mental error, but I don't know. I'd have been tempted to slap an E3 on him there.
Well, if you're Morton, you're expecting to have 2 outs facing Quintero right now. That's for certain. There he goes. Throw from Diaz over the bag, but not in time. A little high, and Matsui gets in for the steal, his 8th of the year in 11 tries. What a nice jump.
He sure did. Good strong throw. Just a little bit late.
Well, that was close. Really close. Is that our super slow-mo look?
I don't think so. I think that was just generic slow-mo.
Quintero has a 2-0 count with Wandy Rodriguez on deck. Matsui has stolen bases effectively this season. Astros leading 2-0, hoping to get him around. Quintero hoping to see something good to swing at here on 2-0. He doesn't. And it's 3 balls, no strikes. Now Don't see anything good.
Well, they got to get 2 outs. 1 out in the inning. I would go after Quintero and Wandy as opposed to Wandy and Bourne. Wandy's going to be up there to bunt.
That's ball 4. Quintero takes his first walk of the season.
Pretty remarkable.
Hugh has had 72 at bats so far. Now the infielders converge with Wandy up there to bunt. He struck out in the 3rd inning.
So the last 8 batters for the Astros have been 5 hits and a walk. And Morton probably feels somewhat fortunate that he's only allowed a 2 spot so far.
Big play at the plate, gunned down Tejada in the last inning. That was important to Morton. Now Rodriguez. Now regarding that suspended game, you might see some player call-ups by both teams before tomorrow night. That's one possibility, as managers might want to position themselves differently. Wandy has 4 sacrifice bunts. This one goes out toward the pitcher Morton. He throws to second for 1. Wow, what a job by Jack Wilson. Now he dropped it, but he held it for about 14 seconds. And they get the out at second. I thought they might go to third.
Well, I think they talked before the play, and they were thinking double play. The ball back to the mound. The play was on for a double play at second base. You don't want to have to analyze that play. If you're looking to turn 2 there, that's the play you're going to try to make. And with Quintero, the runner at first, they probably felt like on anything but an outstanding bunt, they'd have a good shot at him. Q failing to slide, and Wilson trying to press his pace for a little bit of an interference, but there was no contact. It's just kind of bizarre that Q went in standing up, assuming that there'd be no play out there at second base.
Now runners at first and third for Michael Bourne with 2 outs. Smash into center field. It's 3-0 on an RBI single by Bourne, and that's exactly what you were talking about. In fact, the Quintero walk meant Bourne got a chance to bat, and he delivered. He's 2 for 3 in this game. That's his 21st run batted in.
Now Michael been scuffling a little bit lately. Came out for early BP yesterday. It's paying off. Triple last time. Now solid line drive single here. Plate run number 3.
Bourne is hit very well with men in scoring position. Smacked that ball squarely up the middle. .362 batting average with men in scoring position coming into this game. Now Tejada has runners at first and second. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI. Makes it ball 1. Braves and Cubs are scoreless in the bottom of the first at Wrigley. Kevin Hart has been called up from AAA Iowa to go into the rotation with the Ryan Dempster injury. And Kenshin Kawakami is pitching for the Braves.
And Giovanni Soto got hurt in BP today. Strained oblique. They sent him to Northwestern Hospital for an MRI. And that oblique could be very problematic. Strained oblique. We've seen guys miss a month or more at times.
Yeah. Lou Pinella's got to be just shaking his head over these developments. Losing Dempster for maybe 3 weeks, maybe more, with a broken toe.
And they just got Aramis Ramirez back, so they had their opening day lineup together for, I guess, 1 or 2 days. Now Soto done for a while.
Cubs are 1 game over 500. They're 3 behind St. Louis.
To get the Billy Goat out and spread it around Wrigley.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Apparently the new ownership of the Cubs considering a major renovation of Wrigley Field for 2012, spending some $250 million. Widen the concourses, add some private seating, luxury suites, things of that nature. Maybe position themselves to host an all-star game shortly after that. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Miggy. Vasquez into right field. Stop sign at third for Wandy Rodriguez. The bases are loaded on the 2-out single by Tejada. Another multi-hit game. His 36th of the year.
Nothing doing in the Pirate bullpen. Joe Kerrigan, the pitching coach, trots out. Have a chat with his young right-hander. Astros got an opportunity to blow this thing wide open now with the bases juiced for Lance Berkman.
Happy birthday wishes are going out to Alan Ashby, Terry Poole, Beck, Bacon, John David Crow. Always running back in the pros, Texas A&M.
Marty Feldman. Got the big eyes, right? Marty Feldman.
Yeah.
He was always kind of typecast. Hard for Marty to be a leading man.
Now Berkman, he doubled to center field after striking out. Morton has thrown first pitch strikes to only 8 of 20 batters in the game. And this is there on Berkman. It's 1 ball, no strikes to Lance.
Jerry Davis, more of a hitter's zone here this afternoon. Hasn't faced Wandy though.
Now it's 2-0. Lance is 0 for 4 this season with the bases loaded.
Well, this would be a good time to put that 3-wood back and pull out the driver.
Rich Beam put the driver away and the 3-wood away. Took batting practice with the Minnesota Twins yesterday. He said hitting the baseball has got to be the hardest thing to do in sports. 2 balls and a strike.
It's kind of a cliche, right? The hardest thing to do in sports is hitting the baseball, but it's possible to quantify. Why is it harder to hit a baseball than it is to blast a slap shot into the upper right-hand corner against Tony Esposito? Nobody knows.
No. Or holding out from 130 yards under the lip of a bunker. That's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Berkman looks at ball 3, it's 3-1. Or bowling and having half the ball hanging over the gutter, breaking it back in for a strike. Wandy Rodriguez at third, Michael Bourne at second, Miguel Tejada at first, and a 3-1 count on Lance Berkman with Carlos Lee on deck. Yes, Charlie Morton is in deep trouble.
He is Jimmy Jack right here. And doing a lot of thinking, stepping off. What do we want to do? He's starting with a couple of good pitches. Just off the outside corner with good movement. Lance not biting. Jerry Davis wouldn't give him the call.
Laced on a line to the right field wall. Scoring Wandy and Michael Bourne. Tejada to third. 2-run double for Berkman. And it's 5-0 Astros as Berkman picks up his second double of the game. 18th of the year. That gives him 51 runs batted in.
Morton went through that at bat, pitching very cautiously to Lance. Then when he got into the hitter's count, he gave into him an ill-advised strategy the way Lance Berkman is swinging the bat right now. Fastball middle in and down a little bit, and he just drops the head on it and rifles it into the right field corner. Ten hits already for the Astros.
Carlos Lee wants number 11 right here. Ball 1 with Steven Jackson warming up for the Pirates.
It seems like Morton is throwing all of his out pitches early in the count, and he's falling behind in the count because of it. Swing and miss pitches that you might get away with when hitters are down in the count, they would chase. He's starting hitters. Astros are laying off. forcing him to come in hitters' counts. That's two really good two-strike pitches in a row, but unfortunately they were ball one, ball two. If you got to jump on the hitter and make those pitches, you're probably getting outs. Especially against the best hitters, you're better off taking your shots early in the count, trying to get ahead and then expand, as opposed to nibbling early and putting yourself in a hole.
The game is slowed way down for Charlie Morton here with a 2-0 count.
A lot of indecision. Charlie now getting knocked around. Somebody wanted to be really corny, they would say Charlie Morton reigns of course. Well, we won't say that.
Astros are 5 for 9 with runners in scoring position today. Checking back on Lance Berkman, that game he referred to after the game last night, talking about his error. Was here on June 24th against Kansas City. He made an error in the 9th inning. Kansas City went on to win that one in the 11th. And then the next day, what Lance did not talk about was he hit a pair of 2-run homers. The Astros stormed back to beat Kansas City that day 5-4. Well, today he's following suit after the error last night. A pair of doubles here, 2 runs batted in. Top 4 are 8 for 11 with 5 runs batted in and 3 runs scored.
So you want to be the starting pitcher the day after Lance makes a costly error.
Yeah. Broken down roller. Andy LaRoche goes to Adam. In the 4th inning, it's a very long frame for Charlie Morton, a 28-pitch inning. He gives up 3 runs on 4 hits. That infield hit for Matsui really big. 5-0 Houston. Center by Dodge and by Southwest Airlines. It is hot outside. We did get a little rain yesterday. Not quite as hot as it was last week when the temperatures were consistently in the triple digits. Inside, it's 5-0 for Wandy Rodriguez. He's retired 8 in a row. The Astros just got him 3 more runs of support in the 4th inning. It's Adam LaRoche. Puts that one out of play for strike 1. When Adam broke toward second baseman Vasquez on the little 2-hop grounder hit by Matsui, then could not get back to first. That was ruled an infield hit, and that would have been out number 2 had the Pirates executed. And what followed was a walk and a force play, and then the big inning mushroom.
Yeah, it's amazing in this game. Little things, you open that door a little bit, and you're asking for trouble. Then getting out on routine ground ball, then you walk Hugh, who not walked all year long.
Yeah, there was some strange goings on there in that fourth inning. In tight, and it's 1-2. Nationals and Rockies are underway. They're in the top of the second at Coors Field with no score. Ross Detweiler going for Washington against Jorge De La Rosa. Bouncer, Berkman backs up to get the hop. Tossing to Rodriguez. One out. That's 9 straight outs for Wandy. The Nationals, after that day game at Coors Field, will head this way. We don't know who the pitchers will be when the suspended game is resumed at 6:05 tomorrow night. Troy Hawkins was in the game when it was suspended.
So I think it makes sense to announce LaTroy Hawkins as the pitcher. I don't know how that works in a suspended game.
I don't either.
Because if whoever you bring out of the bullpen, if you bring somebody else out of the bullpen, they have to face at least one batter. So if you wait and you say Hawkins is my guy, and then you can react to whatever the Nationals do. Burdak's not available because he already pitched. But for instance, say Tim were available, you start Hawkins as the guy, and then if Manny Acta runs the left-handed batter up there, you could pull Hawkins and bring in Burdak.
Yeah.
Because if you start Burdak and the Nationals counter with a right-handed hitter, Burdak has to pitch.
We're having a lot of fun with this. It's going to be a most interesting and fascinating evening tomorrow night. We'll be on the air at 6 o'clock tomorrow night and have pre-game programming for the regularly scheduled game for you. Astros Live will be coming your way between games. Yeah, you just if you keep a scorecard, keep a scorebook, just go back to that page and pick it up where you were in the 11th inning. One out and a runner on first. But there are different players available now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That is what makes it so unusual. This has not happened in Houston since '99. The game was suspended and resumed. That was the Larry Dierker seizure. Strikeout number 8 for Wandy Rodriguez.
What makes this one so different is the fact that it started in Washington and will finish here in Houston. Elijah Dukes is the runner at first. He's in the minor leagues right now. Willingham the batter, Hawkins the pitcher. These are the players that are no longer available to the Astros in the game. Lee Michaels, Oswalt was the starting pitcher. Sampson and Burdak have worked out of the pen already.
There have been a lot of player changes since May 5th when that game was started. Curveball just misses to Ramon Vasquez for ball 1. For instance, Humberto Quintero was on the disabled list that day. J.R. Tolles was on the club. So Quintero is available for use off the bench. Matt Keita was not with the Astros then. Steve Pearce is on deck to pinch hit right now. Kazuo Matsui was on the bench, so he's available. Keppinger was at second base. That trickles through the left side. A single for Vasquez. Hit number 3 for the Pirates. That ends the string of 10 straight outs for Rodriguez. And now it's Steve Pearce to pinch hit for the pitcher, Charlie Morton.
Brian Moeller had a similar run last night. He retired 11 in a row before the Pirates got to him in the 7th inning. Pirates trying to get a little something back here. Pearce, a guy with power, so with one swing of the bat, he could make this a 5-2 game.
Morton talks it over with Joe Kerrigan, the pitching coach. Morton in 4 innings allowed 10 hits, 5 runs. He had 1 walk and struck out 3.
At the start of the ball game, it looked like he was going to be tough, but like I was mentioning last inning, it looked to me like he was trying to be a little too fine too early in the count and got himself into some hitters' counts and paid a pretty dear price because of it.
Strike to Steve Pearce, the pinch hitter. Pearce 0 for 3 in this series. He started at first base against Mike Hampton Monday night, struck out all 3 times. He's 1 for 11 with the Pirates.
So is that good work against a lefty that gets him this at bat against another lefty? Probably turned to John Russell on his wife. Are you sure?
Were you watching?
John said, "Prove me. Show me, kid."
Well, he did. He struck out for the 4th straight time in the series. It's no runs a hit and a man left, and it's 5-0 Houston. Was up with the bases loaded, ripped a 3-1 pitch to the right field wall, driving in a pair, giving him 51 runs batted in. That's his 2nd double of the day. After a tough night last night, he has bounced back. Brought to you by Land Rover. And Lance with a 10-game hitting streak going into tomorrow night's game. Well, let's see, that's the suspended game, so we'll have to look at that. Steven Jackson is 2-1. His ERA is 3.86 as he comes in to work the 5th.
17th appearance for Jackson. 16 and a third innings of work. He's walked 10, struck out 7, allowed a couple of home runs. Claimed off waivers from the Yankees back in May. Called up from AAA Indianapolis on June the 2nd.
Jeff Blum's 1 for 2. And there's strike one. Steven Jackson has faced the Astros once this year. And he got a loss here at Houston on the 7th of June, giving up 3 hits and 3 runs in 1 1/3 innings. Plummer with a sharp single up the middle and a fly ball to center. And that's foul for an 0-2 count. Jackson from Sumter, South Carolina, and Clemson University. Just checking back. You know, Lance didn't have a hit in that suspended game when it was suspended. So you know what's coming next. 1-2. He's got a 10-game hitting streak.
Doesn't count.
Okay.
If he gets a hit, it's April 28th, he got a hit.
Okay.
And whatever the date of that game was.
May 5th.
May 5th.
That sounds reasonable. Bounce to the right side. Vasquez.
Here's the real scenario for him.
Okay.
What if before that game started and after that game he put together a 55-game hitting streak?
That's right.
How big would tomorrow's game be?
That's why this is so weird.
I wouldn't sleep tonight.
Right.
I wouldn't sleep tonight.
Well, you can make a case. Wait a minute now. If he gets a hit in that suspended game, it happened on the next day after he had put together a 10-game hitting streak. Shouldn't that count?
That's the way you're going to have to take that to the commissioner. Find yourself a good attorney and go up there and argue for it.
Okay.
We were talking last night about the White Sox game last year. Same kind of deal where players were getting credited for their first hit, months before they were called to the big leagues.
That's into right center field. A hit for Hunter Pence gives him a 4-game hitting streak. That's hit number 11 for the Astros, and Patty Smith is waiting. Patty?
Well, summertime means family time at Minute Maid Park, and now through August 23rd, kids are free. For every full-price adult ticket you purchase in the view deck or mezzanine, you get 2 free tickets in the same price level for kids 14 and under. For more information, visit Astros.com or stop by the Minute Maid Park box office. Guys?
Thanks, Patty. Lots of youngsters here today watching Matsui bat here. Matsui's 1 for 2. Stole a base, scored a run as a part of that 3-run 4th inning. Steven Jackson delivers ball 1 to him.
Jackson, a long, lanky right-hander with a fairly slow delivery. At least he was there. Wouldn't be surprised to see Hunter Pence try to steal a bag.
Steven Jackson and Ross Ollendorf both were traded from Arizona to the Yankees in 07, and they're both now Pirates. Time called on Matsui. The Nationals are resting Nick Johnson today at Coors Field. He's been a hot hitter for them this year. His name is circulated quite often among trade rumors. Adam Dunn is playing first base today for the Nationals, and their general manager Mike Rizzo came out and said, we're not trading Adam Dunn this year.
Probably got tired of that phone ringing.
Yeah. Adam gets to come home tonight. Now, as we check the Astros hitting in this game, you see the box score, and everyone has a hit or has scored a run. Wandy reached on the 4th play and scored a run. Quintero walked, so he's been on base. Jackson steps off. The Astros are 7-4 against the Pirates, but they're 9-20 against the other teams in the National League Central. So they have some work to do in that regard, and they'll have a chance after the All-Star break. Matsui.
Just not seeing the ball well at all.
No.
He got that base hit last time up. Just a little ground ball to second base. LaRoche was tardy covering the bag, so he was able to get a knock, but not had good swings at all here today. Some days a hitter gets up there and the ball looks like a watermelon and it slows down for him and it's real easy. Other days they just don't see the ball out of the pitcher's hand, have a difficult time recognizing movement or spin. And it's a real battle to try to hang in there and make solid contact. People having I'm having a bad hair day. Hitters sometimes have just bad days seeing the ball. That was my entire career. I'm just not seeing the ball well.
Swing and a miss, and Matsui's down on strikes. Did you ever see the ball well and just not hit it?
I did. There was a couple times where I fouled it off. And man, I was right on that one. What amazed me is the disparity of stuff among major league pitchers. You think you could put them in a box and most guys would fall, some a little better than others, but most of them could. Some guys that just, their stuff was like when you're the little guy in Little League, the 9-year-old against the big 12-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Some guys, that's what it felt like, just menacing stuff. And other guys, you felt like, I got a chance here. Maybe hit a line drive somewhere.
What about Gooden? You faced Gooden, right?
Yeah, he was came into that former category. Am I in the same league as this guy?
Who else was in that bracket? Good. The guys that you faced.
Well, the one guy that I remember not facing so much as being in a bullpen with him with the Yankees was Rod Scurry.
Yeah.
Not a real big name, but he had unbelievable stuff. He had a curveball that you buckle your knees.
Yes, he did. Pence takes off, swing and a miss by Quintero. The throw drifts and hits him. He's right behind second on a steal by Hunter Pence, his 9th of the year in 14 tries. 2 steals for the Astros today.
Gooden, he throw 95 with that 4-seam fastball and then throw you that big curveball, and you kind of, really? You're going to throw me that? Is that necessary?
Astros 2 for 2 in steals today. They are 7 for 8 in steals against the Pirates this year. Wandy's on deck with an 0-1 count on cue. Fly ball center, McCutchen still going back. And he catches up with it easily for out number 3. No runs ahead, a runner stranded after 5. The Astros lead the Bucks 5-0. Leading Humberto Quintero catching a shutout. Time now for our Dodge Grab Life feature. Let's find out what's on Humberto's iPod.
Latin music, merengue, reggaeton, salsa, hip hop, country music. I had everything in my iPod.
That pretty much covers it all from Humberto Quintero. Now he's working with Wandy Rodriguez, moving to the 6th inning with the top of the order due up for the Pirates. McCutchen, Wilson, and Young. And this team of Wandy and Q working well today, allowing the Pirates just 3 singles. Only one Pirate has reached second base. That was Andy LaRoche in the 2nd inning. Good ball looked pretty good, but it's ball 1 to McCutchen. He's 0 for 2. Outside the right field line, drifts back into the seats.
He's been able to command that fastball down and away to the right-handed hitters and make that pitch pretty much at will. Down around the knees, outside third of the plate, and just not a whole lot the Pirates are going to be able to do with it. Poke it through the hole on the right side. If they try to yank it, they're going to pop up.
Good play by Blum on a short hop. 1 out. McCutchen has been kept off base by the Astros left-hander, shooting for win number 8. Before last night's games, he was 10th in the league in ERA. Then he dropped out after last night's games, but began the day at 3.21. Jack Wilson is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a grounder to first. First 4 hitters 0 for 9 without reaching base for the Pirates. Tejada back. 2 outs. Patty Smith is standing by. Patty?
I am standing by, and I'm actually standing right here by the Chick-fil-A foul poles. And, of course, we all know that anytime an Astro player hits one of these foul poles, everyone in the entire stadium gets a free chicken sandwich. All they've got to do is take their ticket stub to any greater Houston area Chick-fil-A to retrieve that sandwich. So here we all are, right here by the foul pole. And, guys, we're hoping someone can make that happen for all the fans.
Well, that would be something to look forward to. Now, you and JD hang out at your Chick-fil-A out at the Woodlands quite a bit.
Yeah, we do. I tend to see JD cruising around the Woodlands. We're kind of all back in that same little area. We all kind of frequent the same locations, grocery stores, Chick-fil-A's, you know.
But that's a large community, and you keep running into each other out there. You must live pretty close together.
I bumped into Greg Lucas in Chinatown the other day in San Francisco. It's a small world we inhabit, especially out there in the Woodlands.
Now, what about Kevin? Is he going to become a resident out there? Or do we know yet?
He tells me he is. He's looking at the Woodlands, and he should be out there probably within the next 3 weeks. Yeah.
Good.
He can be back there by us, JD, so he'll be a Chick-fil-A also.
I'm going to review his application, see if he's worthy.
JD's probably serving on the town council out there.
Yeah, he's like the mayor. Everyone knows JD out there. There's no doubt.
Kevin and you are matched up perfectly today. How did that happen?
We kind of try to do that. Kevin usually calls me and he says, "Hey, Patty, what are you going to wear today?" It's all him. I really kind of just casual about it, but Kevin likes to coordinate. So,
okay.
JD, we could bring you in on that if you want to have
I've got orange
trifecta.
I've got plenty of orange.
I usually don't wear orange, so this is something new.
Check swing call by C.B. Buckner. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes on Delwyn Young. But we digress of this 5-0 game.
And Delwyn Young probably glad we digress because he's one swing away from a hat trick. He's punched out twice already this afternoon. Wandy got him swinging in the first and in the fourth. Was not allowed a leadoff batter to reach here this afternoon, and awfully tough to play comeback baseball. It's no outs or 1 out, nobody on all the time.
Well, for the Astros, this game just follows that trend of solid starting pitching. This will be the 8th pitch for Wandy to Delwyn Young here. And fly ball goes to shallow right. Matsui calling in front of Pence. In the 6th inning, he goes quickly again. A very solid afternoon for the Astros. Wandy Rodriguez, 5-0 Houston. Coors Light 6th inning, and time for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. Show you a couple of really close plays. Here's Matsui beating out a grounder to second base just by a flash at first on the ropes. Then he steals second and beats the tag by Vasquez by just another tiny margin there. Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by Frostproof Coors Light. Then he scores easily without a play at the plate.
Missed him by that much.
Yeah.
Twice.
Now Wandy Rodriguez, he is 0 for 2, but has scored a run. Everybody in this lineup's either been on base or scored a run. And sprinkling 11 hits throughout the Astros lineup. It's been a good game all around for them. 1 ball, 1 strike. The starting pitching has been trending very nicely for Cecil Cooper and Dewey Robinson. Fly ball to left field. Delwyn Young in. That's 1 out. Our Jack in the Box standings will show you the longest current scoreless inning pitch streaks in baseball. Jeremy Affeldt has 20 1/3, but the Astros didn't even see him in San Francisco. Joe Nathan has 18 2/3. Then it's Alberto Arias with 15 1/3. Ryan Franklin right there with him, and JP Howell shares that among all major league relievers. Chris Sampson gave up a run last night, but he had pitched 24 consecutive scoreless innings against the Pirates prior to that. Michael Bourne, the batter. There's ball 1 to him. He is 2 for 3, has scored 2 runs and driven in another. So Michael now has scored 51 runs this season. It's a pretty good pace. Bunt, and it goes foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. I was asking Michael about when Lance was trying to bunt on the road trip when the infields were overshifted as he batted left-handed. With all that space with a third baseman playing around with a shortstop normally is. Michael said that's hard to do when there's nobody there. It's hard to put the ball down when you have that much room. Just gets in your head. Might have been kind of like some of those points at Wimbledon with the men's finals on Sunday when you get your opponent off the court, you've got the whole court to hit to it, and you miss the shot. It's just almost too easy.
You lose your focus.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always better out of the trees on the golf course. Put me in the middle of the fairway, I don't have a chance. Maybe kind of cover a couple of trees, and at least I have a target line. Maybe it's just because I get so much practice in there. Now McCutchen, he's not changed his approach. Michael Bourne hit that triple past him back in the 3rd inning, but McCutchen continues to play very daring, very shallow center field.
That one almost hit Bourne, and it did hit Jerry Lane. It's ball 4. And really got away from Steven Jackson. Jerry Lane caught that, and now Roach coming in to talk with Jackson. Say hi to the batter. The base stealer, Bourne.
Jerry Davis, right?
Yeah, Jerry Davis.
Jerry makes his home here in Houston, I believe.
Okay, I didn't know that. And Delphine Colon lives here. Must be kind of like an umpire's hangout.
Good golf weather,
Yeah.
off season.
Kind of different with the
State
umpires.
income tax.
That's a big factor. Mike Krukow, one of the Giants broadcasters, was bringing up that point about how when he pitched, there was more familiarity with the umpires, but now the scheduling of umpires is different. Ball
Well,
1.
back in the day, of course, there were National League umpires and American League umpires. Now there are just Major League umpires, so there's more guys in the mix. Although they do tend to try to keep them somewhat regional.
They might keep him in the Midwest for several weeks. Have him go from Houston to Dallas to Kansas City to Chicago, maybe. And the umpires, like there was one team that played both Chicago teams this year in the same week. The umpires can do that. They can work one series with the Cubs, one series with the White Sox, just stay there, and that really cuts down on the amount of travel because their travel schedule is something else. But now they get vacation periods. And that helps to alleviate that situation.
Yeah, it's a grind. It's a tough job. You get 3 weeks off in the summertime?
3 weeks or a month, yeah. Bourne takes off, big jump, no chance to get him. Nobody went to the bag to cover. And that's an easy steal for Michael Bourne, the National League leader, got his 28th.
And Jackson very slow to home plate. It's a little bit surprising that he held the ball and worked so hard trying to hold Michael Bourne at first base, because with that slow delivery, they basically have no chance of throwing him out. So if you're going to take all that time to hold the ball and throw over and try to upset his timing, you think he'd try to be a little quicker with his delivery home.
He has
Crawford
28.
having a big year over there.
Boy, he is. He's on a pace that will be a better pace than anybody for many years if he maintains it. Now Tejada has a 2-0 count. Has a pair of singles and an RBI in this game. That one floats in for a strike to Miggy. 2-1. Miggy, the first Astros shortstop to be an all-star in back-to-back seasons since Dennis Menke. 69 and 70, and he's 4 for 10 in all-star games with a homer. Last year he was 2 for 3 in the all-star game at Yankee Stadium. This year it's in St. Louis. Crack bad roller, Jack Wilson in. 2 outs. Our Geico quote for today comes from Lance Berkman, talking about his defensive play in last night's game.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we had the ball we needed to get out of the inning, or at least to get us closer to being out of the inning, and I just made a bad throw. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's the second time in so many homestands I feel like I've cost us defensively, you know, basically a game. So it's very frustrating. You know.
To the best of my knowledge, the Minnesota Twins are the only team that routinely takes infield. Most teams don't take it at all anymore, and that might help clean that up a little bit. I'm not convinced that it will, but you know, that's the one thing. During BP, the players take a lot of ground balls, so they get plenty of work that way, but they don't get a lot of practice throwing to the bases. And you say, well, how hard is it to throw, you know, the ball 100 feet or 90 feet? It's not really hard, but the more you practice it and simulate game situations, the better off you're going to be. And usually when you think about what you lose by not taking infield, you think about the outfielders throwing to the bases, because that's part of the routine too when you take infield practice. You know, even if you took it just once a homestand, I'm not guaranteed to be better at it, but if I was a manager, I'd feel a little bit better about having done it. But it's a tough sell to the players once you've eliminated it. You know, and like I said, almost nobody takes infield anymore. And it's a tough thing to convince players, you know, after you haven't done it for a long while, that it makes sense to do it. You know, you do it in spring training, and then you kind of leave it in Florida.
As you watch that play, could you see anything mechanically that he did wrong?
He might have had a half a second more to set his feet, but I don't know.
Vasquez flips over to LaRoche, and in the 6th inning, it's no runs, no hits, and a man stranded after 6. 5-0 Astros. Rapid Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Garrett Jones looks at the first pitch here in the 7th inning at a strike one call for Wandy Rodriguez. Wandy has handcuffed the top 4 hitters in the Pirates order today. A collective 0 for 11 and nobody's reached base. 1 ball, 1 strike. He has allowed only 3 singles. Just 1 Pirate has reached second. That was Andy LaRoche in the 2nd inning. Leading 5-0. 1 hopper Matsui went down and then he couldn't stop the ball and it was off his glove and on through into right center field. Jones hit it. A sharp 1 hopper. Matsui caught in a bad position on that one.
And a hanging curveball, and it's hit sharply with top spins. That ball took a big high hop on him. Matsui going down trying to hang in there on it and just eats him up.
That's a hit for Jones.
Well, Wandy, the first starter in 4 ball games to allow more than 3 hits. It's been a pretty remarkable run.
Yes, it has. Andy LaRoche got one of those hits in the 2nd inning. Goes to right center and then fly to right. With 2 balls, no strikes to him, Wandy's ERA at home since 2007 is 2.88. That's 4th in the majors among starting pitchers. 2 balls and a strike. Adam LaRoche on deck. Evan Meek is warming up with the Pirate bullpen. The Astros with a win today would return to 1 game under 500, 41 and 42. Tejada to his right. The ball stayed down. He gets it to second and then Matsui to first. Spectacular double play. The ball stayed down on Tejada and he was throwing off 1 leg. Made a perfect throw to Matsui.
Yeah, falling to the ground, a perfect feed. That sets up Matsui to complete that double play. See Miggy getting a little garbled up there with his feet and showing just tremendous stick-to-itiveness.
Boy, that was spectacular. Adam LaRoche pops it up, towering pop. Quintero looks up into the roof. It's a double play and a pop-up for Wandy Rodriguez, needing only 9 pitches. No runs, a hit, nobody left. 7th inning stretch time. 5-0 Astros. Day for Wandy Rodriguez. In 7 innings, he's allowed 4 hits, all of them singles. Only one Pirate has reached second base. The Astros' top 4 in the lineup all have 2 hits, and the Pirates only have 1 hit from all 4 of their top 4 hitters combined. There you see the Astros combining for that 8 for 14 from their top 4. Every batter's reached base. The Astros 5 for 14 with runners in scoring position. That includes Wandy reaching on a fielder's choice play. And so the Astros have had top to bottom type offense today. A very good day for them with 11 hits. Pitcher number 3 of the day is Evan Meek for Pittsburgh.
Evan Meek working for the 27th time. We saw him in game 1 of the series. Hard thrower. Rushing that fastball up there in the mid-90s. Good strikeout numbers, but the walks, my goodness, he's had a ton of walks.
It's Carlos Lee. Fastball away for ball 1. Carlos is 2 for 3 with an RBI. There's a great boxer, Roberto Duran, threw out the first pitch to Carlos. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Back in the day, a lot of heavyweight fights were held in Major League stadiums, such as Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, Carmen Basilio fought Sugar Ray Robinson there.
I think Floyd Patterson might have fought at Yankee Stadium. 2 balls, no strikes. He catches the corner, and it's 3-1 after Steven Jackson worked 1 inning. He worked 2 innings. He gave up 1 hit, no runs, had 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Toward the right field corner and twisting foul. 3-2 now to Carlos Lee.
Well, they've been working Carlos away and starting to go that way. With that double to right field back in the 3rd.
Jeff Blum's on deck. Hunter Pence due up 3rd here in the Astros 7th inning. A year ago, the Astros were 40-43 after 83 games. They were 10 games out of first. They're 4.5 out right now. Lee lunges, and there's a strikeout for out number 1.
This date in Astros history is brought to you by the MD Anderson Cancer Center. This date, 1980, J.R. Richard becomes the first Astros to be the starting pitcher in the All-Star game. Punched out 3 in 2 innings. National League won 4-2.
Jeff Blum fouls it outside first base. There's strike 1. Jeff 1 for 3 in this game. A nice line drive into center field in the 2nd inning. He's a happy guy.
It was back in the day when the National League used to dominate the All-Star game. It was their 9th consecutive All-Star game win.
How things have changed.
It's weird how that series, there's been those swings like that through the years. Kind of hard to explain.
It is. You know, the American League has just been so dominant for about the last 15 years now. Many articles written on it, theories on it.
I think there's a lot of randomness to it.
Yeah.
You know, when you take a look at you put star players from the 2 leagues together, it's very difficult to come to the determination that the American League is constantly running out a better team than the National League. Especially given the nature of baseball.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, think they run out a team of pretty good players, and they've been an all-star team every now and then.
Sure. 2-2, and you're talking about the major stars of the game getting what? 3 at bats, maybe at most.
Yeah.
1 game. Pitchers working just a few innings here and there. Blum swings and misses, and that's a strikeout for out number 2. Now we have a look at our Texas Ford dealers, league leaders, the strikeout leaders in Major League Baseball. Nolan 75 through 79. Nolan Ryan, J.R. Richard, Phil Niekro, Tom Seaver, Bert Blyleven. An era when they brought the heat.
3 Hall of Famers. One should be and one would have been had he stayed healthy.
Nolan Ryan struck out Cecil Cooper 6 times in one game. Strike one to Hunter Pence, who was 1 for 3. That was an extra inning game. Just past the anniversary date of that game, which was in '74. I think it went 13 innings, and Nolan threw something like 235 pitches. He was interviewed about that, and he said, well, the only reason we knew how many pitches I threw was that the pitching coach happened to have a clicker, but normally they did not keep a pitch count in those days. 1-1, and then somebody said to him, well, you know, right now, if you got a quality start, everybody would be happy. He said, I would guarantee you, if I had pitched 6 innings and given up 3 runs that night, nobody would have been happy on my club with that. Not me, not the management, not the pitching coach.
Yeah. It's 6 innings, 3 runs it's hard to call it quality. A lot of times it's good enough to win if your bullpen pitches well.
Yeah. He was up against Louis Tiant that night. Tiant had a heck of a game, too. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Evan Meek.
Louis Tiant, really one of the most underrated pitchers of that era. He was really good. You don't hear a lot about Tiant.
And skips by the catcher on strike 3. Hunter Pence sprinting to first. Diaz with a throw, and they nip him at first. Meek has struck out the side here in the 7th inning. Despite the hustle of Hunter Pence, it's 5-0 Astros after 7.
Log on Astros.com. Help us pick the top moment at Minute Maid Park. We're in the semifinals. Only 2 more weeks of voting remain.
2 more weeks, is that all?
That's it.
Robinson Diaz takes ball 1, leading off the 8th inning. He is 0 for 2 with a pair of punch-outs. Tony Rodriguez has struck out 9.
This guy, he swings like he's trying to hit it 7 miles with every time he lets it go. I'm not getting out of town. I'm going to take a shot at those Crawford boxes. I don't care what they say. Give me this patience nonsense.
2 balls and 1 strike. It's a fly ball toward right center field. 3 players converging. Michael Bourne has it. That's out number 1 for Wandy. And he's really helping things for tomorrow. save that bullpen. Vasquez is 1 for 2. He singled to left in the 5th inning. Well, Brett Dolan's been researching that suspended game. 97 pitches. Brandon Moss is on deck to pinch hit for the pitcher. So Wandy has gone deep into this one. And that should put Cecil Cooper in good stead. This kind of a lead if things continue to go well for tomorrow. And he picks it up in the 11th inning against the Nationals. And Brett Dolan has a contact at the Elias Sports Bureau who says that it could be something really interesting someday in a suspended game. Well, if in fact Joel Hanrahan were pitching for the Astros tomorrow and he came in, he would have a runner at first and 1 out. If he got that runner out, in other words, maybe picked off the runner and then gave up a run, he could be both the winning and losing pitcher in the same game. It won't happen.
Well, if I'm Ed Wade, I make the deal right now. I hope it happens. How many chances do you get to make history? To me, it's worth it.
It's 2-2.
What do you want, Pence? You got him. Give his hand or a hand.
Oh, that could be fun. Ed Wade had a scenario too. He said, well, what if Joel Hanrahan were, let's see, if he pitched for the Astros and they put him in a pinch run for the Nationals, he could try to pick himself off first base. Now, here comes Nate Lucero, Quintero down.
And the ball jumped up and hit him in the neck. He manages to get hurt in more ways than any player I've ever seen.
Yeah,
look at this blow, right underneath his mask, catching him right in the throat.
And he's done everything he can to protect that area, and the ball still crawled up underneath that. Well, both catchers have been getting their rest lately. Pudge caught last night, had 3 hits. Q caught Monday night. We'll be keeping them both fresh here for the days to come. Two balls, 2 strikes on Vasquez. Now a full count. Wandy has not walked anybody in this game. He has now. When he struck out 11 at Colorado, he didn't walk anybody, and he didn't walk anybody in the game before that either.
Well, folks, All-Star voting isn't over quite yet. You have until tomorrow to vote for the 33rd and final player for each league roster. You can do it on the internet at Astros.com. One for each league. So let your voice be heard. Voting ends tomorrow. Brownie is solidly in the corner of Pablo Sandoval among the National League candidates.
Where do you come down on that?
I'm with you.
Okay.
I haven't really researched. I'm figuring you have, so I'm jumping on board.
No,
I'm
I just
riding
like
your coattails.
Research it. I just like it. Brandon Moss, the pinch hitter here for Evan Meek. That's a ball 1 up and in. 255 hitter, 2 homers, 22 runs batted in. 1-1 to Moss.
So it's Victorino, Guzman, Kemp, Sandoval. And who am I missing?
Well, just up on the screen now, but I didn't notice that.
Wasn't anybody from our division, was there?
I don't think so. 2 balls and a strike. Bouncer. Matsui. Tejada takes a high throw and guns it on to Berkman for a double play. 2 double plays in 2 innings for Wandy Rodriguez. And this one goes 4, 6. With a stretch and 3, 5-0 Astros. look throughout the Astros lineup. With a total of 11 hits and 5 runs, the Astros went to work with 2 in the third and added 3 in the fourth with a little help from the Buccos infield play. And it's 2 hits for Bourne, 2 for Tejada, 2 for Berkman, 2 for Lee. Among those that you'll be seeing on the Firestone in-game box score. Meanwhile, it's Jeff Karstens out of the bullpen for Pittsburgh. Karstens 1-1 with a 3.52 ERA in his 10 relief appearances since his last start June 5th at Houston. Overall 3-4 with a 4.92.
Karstens more of a finesse guy, doesn't strike out many. You see just 29 strikeouts in 71 in a third innings. He's walked pretty much as many as he's punched out. He's allowed 10 home runs, league hitting 272 against him.
Evan Meek with 1 hitless inning struck out all 3 men he faced.
Nothing meek about that.
No.
Came in throwing bullets.
Matsui is 1 for 3. No run scored. There's strike 1. Good relief work. 2 innings by Jackson. Scoreless. 1 more by Meek. And the Astros got 10 hits and 5 runs in 4 innings off starter Charlie Morton. No balls, 2 strikes. Not much day action in the majors. The only game in the division involving the Astros divisional opponents is the Cubs game. Atlanta 1, Cubs nothing after 4. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And then it's Colorado 2, Washington nothing in the bottom of the 5th at Coors Field. De La Rosa pitching for Colorado. That's hit to right field, and how did he do that? Somehow he hit a low pitch and lifted it over the second baseman Vasquez and gently dropped in front of the right fielder Jones. He's 2 for 4.
Yeah, you can tell he's just not happy. He got a base hit, but I mean this is about as soft a 2-hit game as you're ever going to have. He hit that ground ball to second, and LaRoche was late covering first, so he got a knock here, and now he goes down a la Andy Roddick. And that breaking pitch is headed towards his ankles, and hits a little lob shot into shallow right field. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was. Quintero the batter. There's ball 1. Or maybe with the LaRoche boys, the corner infielders, it was in honor of their father Dave. A little lob to right. Wandy Rodriguez is on deck. Nobody warming up for the Astros. This one goes to right field. And back on it, Jones. It gets over him and then leaves the field at play for a double for Quintero. That's his 3rd double of the year. He really drove that ball a long way to right.
Astros looking to pile on now with a comfortable 5-0 lead. And they must have been dogging him about his lack of extra base hits. It's his 3rd double this year. Unless that's a milestone of some sort.
Jones watched it go out of play. Now the infielders come in halfway at second and short for Wandy Rodriguez. Wandy's 0 for 3, but he scored a run. And that's strike 1. Now Quintero has joined all of the other 7 position players in the hit column. Total of 13 hits for the Astros. Wandy is the only starter who doesn't have one, but the fact that he's pitching a shutout and batting for the 4th time should excuse him.
No way, Wandy. Let's go, man. Swing the bat, get a knock.
He's trying. No balls, 2 strikes.
Maybe that's what Q was joking about, since he's the only one that didn't have a hit of the position players.
The Cardinals are at Milwaukee. That's a night game. Wellemeyer versus Suppan later. Back to shortstop. Wilson checks Matsui. 1 out. Coming up immediately after the game, it's Astros Live Postgame, brought to you by the MD Anderson Cancer Center. Stay tuned for postgame analysis, for Cecil Cooper's press conference, for locker room postgame comments, and a preview of the National Series with Kevin Eschenfelder and Dave Harbison right after this game today. Wandy back to the bench. The infielders still in about halfway at second and short for Michael Bourne. Michael's had a very good day. 2 hits and a walk, an RBI, a couple of runs scored. There's ball 1 to him. Kenshin Kawakami with 4 shutout innings for the Braves so far. The Cubs are batting in the bottom of the 5th, trailing 1-0 with Kevin Hart pitching well for Chicago. It's 2-0 to Bourne. The Cardinals, who have a 2-game lead on Milwaukee, have 39 losses. Milwaukee and Chicago have 40 losses. Cincinnati has 41 and Houston 42. Just a 7.5 game spread from top to bottom in the NL Central. Strike for Karstens makes it 2-1. Karstens has started 3 games against the Astros this year. 2 of those in Pittsburgh and 1 here June 5th against Mike Hampton. He beat Wandy Rodriguez in Pittsburgh, and he lost to Hampton here. Two to Michael Bourne.
Michael got a little greedy there, a big aggressive swing with that pitch up, but it was a good changeup by Karstens. They wanted to go down with it. He didn't hit his spot, but really sold the pitch well. And Michael way out in front. You're greedy here, Michael. Just let another line drive up the middle to get 2 home, and you'll have yourself a 3-hit day.
If he does that, he'll have 3 hits, 3 runs batted in. Maybe could come around and score his 3rd run. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Tejada's on deck. Rockies now lead the Nationals 5-0 in the bottom of the 5th. They just scored 3 in the 5th inning. Ross Detweiler. Jorge De La Rosa working shutout ball through 5. Bourne draws a walk. He's on for the 4th straight time. His 37th walk of the year. The bases are loaded for Miguel Tejada with 1 out.
Jack Wilson, the leader of this Pirate Club, in talking to Karstens, saying, hey, ball back to you. Make sure you go home with it. They'll back up in the infield now and play for a double play.
Tejada 2 for 4. An RBI in the 3rd inning. Both of his singles have come to right field. Strike 1 to Miggy.
Miggy getting out of his game a little bit too, cheating on a fastball. He was thinking about a big grand slam here. A 5-0 game. The other team only has 1 at bat left. It's kind of like garbage time in basketball. Guys are trying for spectacular dunks. And
no balls, 2 strikes. No, you said it on Michael Bourne. A hit here. Although gets 2 runs batted in. So although everybody loves the grand slam, just getting hits in these situations can really pile up.
And, you know, in the first pitch, we talk about it a lot. It makes sense to cheat on a fastball sometimes. And if you guess right, you can inflict a lot of damage. If they throw you a breaking pitch, you look silly, but you still have 2 strikes to play with.
Way out there. Diaz had to stab it.
Not really commanding his fastball, is he?
No.
He just wanted that one shoulder high. And he throws it down and away.
Karstens, 26 years old. He came in the Xavier Nady, Damaso Marte trade. Both of those guys have been injured for the Yankees. Karstens, Ross Ohlendorf, who's been in the rotation for the Pirates, and 2 prospects. The Pirates look pretty good with that deal right now. Karstens went to Texas Tech. That's up the middle, and that's backhanded. What a flip! Oh, Vasquez to Wilson to LaRoche. That is spectacular. A double play ball, and the crowd is just in awe of that play. No runs, 2 hits, a couple of men left. That is slick. 5-0. by your Texas Ford dealers and by Busch Beer. Wandy Rodriguez has one complete game shutout in his career. He leads 5-0 going to the 9th inning here. He has been dazzling, spreading 4 singles throughout the first 8 innings. Has 2 double play balls behind him. His last career shutout July 6, 2007 against the Mets. That was a 4-hitter with 1 walk and 8 strikeouts. Strike 1 to Andrew McCutchen, who's 0 for 3. He's at 109 pitches. Tim Burdack warming up now. Season high 116. He's done that twice. May 8th against San Diego. June 10th against Chicago.
Just do what you've been doing all afternoon long here. Tendency in trying to finish a game, especially a shutout like this, you get a little extra adrenaline pumping. Tendency to want to overthrow the ball. The key to his success today has been his outstanding command and dotting that outside corner down around the knees and mixing that with that good curveball.
He gets a strikeout on McCutchen. 10th strikeout for Wandy Rodriguez. He's our Texaco Star Performer of the game.
Been a dominating performance. We got a lead early. The Astros able to add on in the 4th to extend that lead, and he has not needed much help. Constantly banging away at the knees with that heater.
Jack Wilson. Wandy has reached 114 pitches. Has an 0-1 pitch coming. Curveball missing. Take it to 1-1. McCutchen 0 for 4. Wilson 0 for 3. Young 0 for 3. Nobody's reached base among the top 3 hitters. 1-2 now. Astros have 3 complete games this season, but they do not have any complete game shutouts. They have 2 combined shutouts. All the way. Pirates have been blanked 7 times this year. Ryan Moeller has gone the distance once. Roy Oswalt has done it twice. Punched on the line to right field. Hunter Pence. 2 outs. Wandy has been involved in both of the shutouts so far against Cincinnati here. April 18th, he went 7 scoreless innings in that one with relief help from Chris Sampson and Jeff Porcino. And against San Diego here, May 8th, he went 8 shutout innings in a 2-0 win with LaTroy Hawkins finishing that game. Delwyn Young. There's strike 1. He's 0 for 3, so this could be the 3rd start in which Wandy has not given up a run this season. He's at 119 pitches now.
Really leaned on that back leg, and this is where the conditioning pays off. You get into the late innings. Rely heavily on those legs to keep you stable and in control.
29,243, the paid crowd. A bullet to Tejada's left goes through into left center for a hit for Young, and he's 1 for 4.
Young did not read the script. Supposed to punch out there to end this ball game.
Sure didn't. Garrett Jones.
I like his swing. He's a good looking hitter.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of good things about him as a hitter from the Pirates folks. Jones got that hit off Matsui's glove on through into right center field in the 7th inning. Pirates have collected 5 hits. They've all been singles. And that's strike 1. And the Astros with a win would be 41-42. The Nationals coming in tomorrow. 6:05 is the beginning of baseball tomorrow night. That's where the suspended game will be picked up in the 11th inning. And 7:05 for the regularly scheduled game. 1 ball, 1 strike. That will match Russ Ortiz and John Lannon at 7:05 tomorrow night. trail 6-0 at Colorado right now. They're in the 5th inning.
Great call there by Quintero. Wandy overthrowing the fastball a little bit in this inning. Q went to the breaking pitch. He feathered it in there nicely. Now he's got the jump on Jones here, 1 and 2. See if he can finish him off.
With this excited crowd. Yeah. And he struck him out looking. Strikeout number 11. And the second complete game shutout for Wandy Rodriguez in his career. First Astro to pitch a shutout and go the distance this season. He threw 125 pitches, 85 of them strikes. Save the bullpen for tomorrow.
And just bust the fastball over the outside corner. Jones thought it was away. There he did. It's a good pitch. Time to shake hands.
The Pirates got only 6 singles off Wandy Rodriguez, make it 5 singles off Wandy Rodriguez.